So anyway, I guess back to the story. And since it's a new video, I gotta give my disclaimer again. Half my life I spent on fucking drugs. The other half of my life I've been lied to by some kind of psychotic fucking Christian religious cult made up of crooked cops, treasonous military, and fucking organized crime, banditos, Italian mafia. Who really knows who's all involved with it nowadays? Because so many of them. So fucking many of them. And they lie, cheat, steal, baby kill, snitch, sabotage, molest, manipulate, do drugs, and spread AIDS all across fucking America through Canada. These people are pieces of shit. And I kind of was thinking I should take a break, but I gotta hurry up and get this at least out there, because any day now this can go sideways. And when it goes sideways, it's gonna be bad, because I owe these people, and they owe me. And I'm gonna have to collect. And I've never been this fucking mad before in my life. I've never been this mad. And this, for once, ain't for money. This is personal. You kill my son, you poison my dogs, you crash my cars. You even steal my dirty socks when I'm homeless. You chase me from the tip of Texas to where the roads end in Alaska, from the beaches in California to the beaches in Virginia. Yeah, we gotta make this right when I see you. And I know you dumb enough to come out because you're Christian, your God can't be wrong. You're a crooked cop, you think you're above the law. You're treasonous military, you think you're something special. You're not. Okay? Your fucking shit stinks too, just like everybody else. So anyway, where to pick up? So I knew it was a bad idea to be in this game, but I needed money, I needed food, I needed clothes, needed cigarettes. Really liked smoking weed, and just like George Jones, at an early age I found I liked drinking, and I never could turn it down. So needed to get all that shit done. And at like 11 years old, I ain't really no way to do it other than move weight. Because like I said, I'm not a thief. The lowest form of people on the earth is a liar, a snitch, and a thief. In other words, these people following me around, and I'm not like them. That's why I'll never, nope, sorry. If your God created you in his image, you're a piece of shit. You're in his image, he's a piece of shit. He's a liar, a thief, and a fucking coward. You're a liar, a thief, and a fucking coward. I'm not Christian. Fuck you and fuck your God. Fuck your country, fuck your badge, fuck your medal. Fuck you. Nope. Anyway, so sleeping in the ditch, moving weight. I didn't have no home, so anytime anybody wanted to get me, it was kind of hard for them to do it, because who knows where I was going to be at. Nothing electronic, even though tracking electronics wasn't a big thing to worry about back then. It was mostly like phone taps and people following you. But it wasn't a big deal. Nothing I couldn't duck, dodge, dive, or dodge. And I could dodge a wrench, so I can damn sure dodge a fucking crooked cop. So, I was staying kind of mostly eating at this one dude's house, one of the other neighborhood guys that was around this crooked constable's son. There was a whole group of them. I can't name names because a lot of these people still alive, and they might see it. I don't want to offend nobody. I'm already going to have enough court cases at the end of this. I don't need to put anything more for putting somebody's name out there that don't want to be known. Even if they are fucking criminals. But this guy wasn't, okay? I looked at this guy, I was like, holy cow. He's like 4 foot tall, 180 pounds, and you piss this motherfucker off, he'd knock you out. It didn't matter if you were in the middle of Wendy's at church or whatever. Redneck. You didn't fuck with this guy. And his dad was a war hero. Again, military. Anyway, his dad was a real war hero, and his mom was a lunch lady at school. And every day, after all the school buses would leave and shit like that, I would go to his house, and his mom would feed me, he would feed me. all started because I would cut through his yard to get to school. But I didn't really go to school very much because I needed money. I had enough education on the street. I didn't need no fucking money. I needed money, not an education. At least that's what I thought. Which I'm not sure if that's right or wrong. I'm not trying to influence anybody to drop out of school, whatever. If you really think you need school, you need it. Go do it. Do whatever you fucking think is right. That's what I believe. You ain't hurting nobody. You ain't touching nobody's fucking kids. You ain't touching nobody's wife. You ain't stealing from nobody. You're doing good then. So do whatever floats your fucking boat. But, so he had a job, setting up parties. And, one day they needed help. I went over there and kind of helped them out. But I was so fucking scrawny. Wasn't really much I could do. And, the owner of the company, military guy, again with the military, was like, he was looking at me and he would just, you could tell, man, his fucking heart fell. Poor little kid. And so he offered me a job washing dishes. And I kind of, spray painting fucking chairs, washing chairs and washing tables. I kind of took him up on it kind of lightly, you know, because what he was paying me, I mean, comparatively speaking, was a really fucking good wage. No kid in the world needed to make that fucking much money at that time. You know, we're talking early, mid-90s. You know, a fucking 11-year-old kid making 10, 12 bucks an hour in the early 90s. I mean, you were fucking king. But I could make a couple $1,000s in a day. I could make hundreds of dollars in a day. And didn't have to work for nobody and could do my own thing. And if anybody told me anything crossed, your house was on fire and your fucking mother was getting smashed with a baseball bat, and you knew not to fucking cross me no more. But I was trying to get out of the game, so I'd take him up on his shit and I'd work with the dude. He was alright, dude. I wasn't the only kid that worked there. It seemed like he took everybody off the fucking streets and gave them a job. Another thing I noticed real quick was if you were military and needed work, he fucking helped you. He went out of his way to fucking help you, man. Them military guys, they all know each other. They all close with each other. Doesn't matter what branch of the military it is, but we'll get into more of that later. So, I'm working with this guy, and he didn't have no kids, and I didn't have no parents. So it kind of seemed like a match that would work. I was still moving weight in the meantime and wouldn't really show up to work. And a couple of years into it, you know, a few girlfriends later, I kind of met this one girl. And I started thinking, white girl, that was a mistake. And she knew where to find all the drugs. I kind of mentioned her a little while. So, you know, that was more life than anything else. And while I was at work, she was always with one of my friends, which became a fucking run-on story for that girl. So I'd always want to skip work. Why? I could move weight, get money, and be with her instead of her be with my friends. So she started fucking one of my friends, the son of one of my customers, and kind of messed up that deal. So I lost money and a friend all at the same time. And it was funny, man. This kid's bigger than me, a little younger than me, but bigger than me by all kind of shit. And he kept wanting to fight me, blowing up my pager. One of my buddies looks at me. He's like, "Hey, man, is this your neighborhood or his?" And I was like, "I don't give a fuck. I got money. What the fuck do I give a fuck about this kid for? I got all kind of neighborhoods. I don't need this shit." And the kid kept on blowing my shit up, so I was like, you know what? Okay, fine, we'll fight. So I put like 80-something stitches in his face, and everybody said I lost the fight when he busted my lip. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. You know, that's another thing I like to do, is let people believe what they want to believe, because they always believe something stupid, especially if they're Christian. You already got an imaginary friend. You'll believe anything. So whatever. I just kept on moving, man. And life got crazy for a little bit. A few more girlfriends. But I started getting less and less on the moving weight and more working for this guy. And he was 82nd Airborne, SP4, Explosive Ordnance, CIA Intelligence Assistant, and Field Artillery. And I mean, the stories he would tell me, I wouldn't believe it. You know, we'd always make jokes like he was some kind of warehouse worker or some kind of bullshit, that he really wasn't what he said he was. And he didn't even really say what he was either. So it was all like a guessing game. Even all the employees there were like, really? You weren't in the military? You sure? And we would go on night gigs and we would shoot the shit, and he would kind of tell me stories and tell me rules and regulations, how you should live. And he's also the dude that told me, follow the fucking money. Where does the money go? You follow the money, you'll find who's at the end of it. That's who you're looking for. So I just started working for him, man, and bouncing from girl to girl. And me and this kid from the street kind of started having enough money. I mean, even though we were young, you know, 15, 16, 17, we started paying rent on a place. He could come up with half the rent, I could come up with the other half the rent, and we would just he would do odd jobs and I would work with this guy setting up parties. And everything was going all right. And then we ran into this other motherfucker from the street that we kind of felt bad for. His grandfather was real close to us. Real nice guy, World War II veteran, stormed the beaches at Normandy, got hit with every kind of fucking cancer and everything else, and the only thing he didn't have was lung cancer. Smoked fucking 500 million Pall Mall non-filters all fucking day till the day he fucking died, and probably lived till he was 100. And his grandson was dumb. We all thought he was like gay and retarded and just horrible, fucking whatever, but we felt bad for him, so it was like, alright, come with us, get a fucking job, live with us, pay some fucking rent, we'll take care of you, we'll keep people from beating you up and doing whatever. And we had a little place going for a while, and it worked out, you know. Everything was BYOD or BYOS, bring your own substance. And anybody could come over, anybody was welcome, as long as you didn't fucking trash nothing, everything was okay, man. We were living alright. And one day, what made us think he was really gay was one day there was this girl, I don't even know who knew her, how, whatever, but there was always girls coming in and out of the place. So this girl comes up to him and she's like, hey, I'm about to go to the army, military, again. So she's like, hey, I'm about to go to the army and, you know, do all this stuff, so I'm looking for a fun night. Any of you boys want to take it up? And me, I'd have jumped on it because I didn't really care. You know, I'd go whichever way the wind blows, as long as it was female and my age or older. Anyway, not too much older. But so we were looking at this kid, and it's like, around that time the 40-year-old virgin came out or whatever. We were looking at this guy like, dude, you're like fucking 16, 17, you're still a fucking virgin. I mean, all you do is play fucking video games all day long. There's a reason I gotta tell the story about this guy. And this girl right here is about to take your fucking virginity, motherfucker. You're about to get some now. And she wasn't bad looking. So she takes him into the room, and about 20 minutes later, she comes out and she's like, I couldn't do nothing with him. And we were just like, yep, he's gay. We knew it. He's gay. And that was just the end of it. We never gave it a second fucking thought. I guess we really should have. Because he turned out to be kind of bad later on. But I guess that's enough for now. We'll break into it later. But at least now I'm out of the game. I'm starting to try to have somewhat normal life, working, even though we old enough to have jobs. The landlord was a crooked cop, so again, crooked cops. So he let us rent, and we paid rent on time. We didn't have loud parties, and we didn't do anything like crazy. We didn't leave like beer bottles everywhere. We always kept everything inside real quiet, because incognito was something that moving weight taught me. And I was starting to learn the rules and regulations of 82nd Airborne, and starting to learn what it was like to be a man. Okay, so things started changing pretty quick, and we'll get into the taste of normal life on the next video. I guess this one's long enough.